Hello everyone, my name is Shivani. I'm a Canadian licensed immigration consultant and I'm also the founder of Zest Immigration Services Incorporation. We have proudly launched this initiative to offer free French language lessons to help on your Canadian immigration journey right here on this very YouTube channel. As you may know, French is becoming a key factor in Canadian immigration, and many programs now provide easier or faster pathways if you have strong French skills. Whether you're aiming for a Canadian work permit, direct permanent residency from within Canada or your home country to Canada, or looking to boost your CRS or PNP scores, French can open many doors. That's why we are committed to providing full French training from level A1 to C2, from beginner to advanced level, completely free of charge on this platform, on this very YouTube channel. We will be uploading videos regularly, so be sure to subscribe and stay tuned and watch each lesson to get most benefit from this opportunity. This entire series is our way of supporting you on your immigration path, and your support means the world to us in return. Thank you, and let's learn French together for a brighter future in Canada. Keep watching this video to continue with your French lesson. All the very best for this lesson and many more to come.
Lesson 38. La voix active et la voix passive. So active voice and passive voice. So in this lesson, we are going to learn what is the active voice, what is the passive voice, and how to change a sentence from active to passive and from passive to active. So what is an active voice? In the active voice, the subject does the action. So for example, the dog eats the bone. Le chien mange l'os. Le chien is the subject. Mange is the verb. And l'os is l'objet, is the object. Passive voice now is when the subject receives the action. So we focus on what happens to the subject. So for example, the bone is eaten by the dog. L'os est mangé par le chien. Now, how to form the passive voice in French. So you use the verb être or to be plus a past participle of the main verb. Then you add par, which means by, the person who does the action. So for example, est means is. Manger is the past participle of manger, which means to eat. Par le chien, by the dog. So par, and then the person who's performing the action, which turns into l'os est mangé par le chien. It is important to note that the past participle agrees with the subject in gender and number. So os, which is bone, is masculin singulier. So manger stays masculin singulier. Now here are some different examples of that in different tenses that we've studied throughout these lessons. So for le présent, we have the active voice, which would be the girl reads the book. La fille lit le livre. In the passive voice, it would be le livre est lu par la fille. The book is read by the girl. In passé composé, it would be Pierre a réparé la voiture. So Pierre has repaired the car. That's the active voice. The passive voice would be la voiture a été réparée par Pierre. The car was repaired by Pierre. À l'imparfait. Les enfants jouaient au parc. The children were playing in the park. Turns into le parc était utilisé par les enfants. The park was being used by the children. So here we have les enfants jouaient au parc. So jouer is playing, or le verbe jouer. We change it to était utilisé par les enfants. Le futur simple now. Marie nettoyera la maison demain. Mary will clean the house tomorrow. La voix passive is la maison sera nettoyée par Marie demain. The house will be cleaned by Mary tomorrow. Au conditionnel présent. La voix active. Luc mangerait une pomme. Luc would eat an apple. But in the passive voice, or la voix passive, une pomme serait mangée par Luc. An apple would be eaten by Luke. Plus que parfait. Le professeur avait corrigé les devoirs. The teacher had corrected the homework. That's in the active voice. Now in the passive voice, les devoirs avaient été corrigés par le professeur. The homework had been corrected by the teacher. If we look at le futur antérieur, so the future perfect, la voix active, Claire aura fini le sujet demain soir. Claire aura fini le projet demain soir. Claire will have finished the project tomorrow evening. In the passive form, le projet aura été fini par Claire demain soir. Le projet aura été fini par Claire demain soir. The project will have been finished by Claire tomorrow evening. Now, if we use the past conditional or le conditionnel passé, la voix active dit Marc aura vendu sa voiture. Marc aurait vendu sa voiture. Mark would have sold his car. La voix passive. La voiture aurait été vendue par Marc. The car would have been sold by Mark. Le passé simple. So simple past for formal or literary. Le roi gouverna le pays. The king ruled the country. La voix passive. Le pays fut gouverné par le roi. The country was ruled by the king. Le passé antérieur. Literary past before the past. La voix active. La reine eut signé le décret. The queen had signed the decree. La voix passive. Le décret eut été signé par la reine. The decree had been signed by the queen. Now there are some exceptions. So in English, when we use the passive voice, sometimes two sentences are possible. A book was given to the boy was given a book. But in French, only one way is correct. For example, nous avons donné un livre au garçon. We gave a book to the boy. So here, un livre, which is a book, is the direct object, the thing that is given. Au garçon, to the boy, is the indirect object, the person who receives the book. In French, only the direct object can become the subject in a passive sentence. So the correct passive sentence would be Un livre a été donné au garçon. A book was given to the boy. The incorrect sentence is Le garçon a été donné un livre. You can't say that in French. It has to be Un livre a été donné au garçon. So, autre façon d'exprimer l'idée passive, other ways to express a passive idea, is to use less the passive voice than English. So instead use on plus an active verb. So meaning people or they. Example, on construit des maisons au Canada. They build houses in Canada. Or reflexive verbs like se plus the verb to express general actions. Le travail se fait rapidement. The work gets done quickly. We can say on fait le travail rapidement, or we can say le travail se fait rapidement. Now let's practice. So we are going to transform the active voice to la voix active à la voix passive. Active voice to the passive voice. So for example, Roger a acheté le journal. Roger bought the newspaper. We're going to change that into la voix passive. We would say le journal a été acheté par Roger. The newspaper was bought by Roger. Number 2, les enfants nettoyaient la salle de classe. The children were cleaning the classroom. We would say la salle de classe était nettoyée par les enfants. The classroom was being cleaned by the children. Tout le monde connaît Marie. Tout le monde connaît Marie. Everyone knows Mary. We would say Marie est connue de tout le monde. Mary is known by everyone. Now let's transform the passive voice to the active voice. Donc, la voix passive à la voix active. La lettre est écrite par Sophie. The letter is written by Sophie. We would say Sophie écrit la lettre. Sophie writes the letter. Le gâteau sera préparé par le chef. Le gâteau sera préparé par le chef. The cake will be prepared by the chef. Le chef préparera le gâteau. The chef will prepare the cake. We're going to do a quick little summary of what we've learned during this lesson. So, pour la voix active, so the active voice, the subject does the action. Pour la voix passive, or the passive voice, the subject receives the action. Now with the passive voice, we use être plus the past participle, donc le participe passé, plus le mot par, plus the person who does the action. In French, we use less passive voice than in English. And the past participle always agrees with the subject in gender and number when we use it with le verbe être. You can use on plus the verb or reflexive verbs to express passive meaning. And that's it for this lesson.